So I haven't done any CNC videos in a while. Some of that's summer vacation, getting away and whatnot. But some of it's been a more recent project, which was switching out my CR10 3D printer that I originally printed my CNC machine on for a VZBot that is still in the works. So VZBot, for those that don't know, got its start as a modified Tronxy X5 SA printer. So I was able to get a pretty good Amazon deal on a X5 SA. So I sold my Creality and started on my adventure to create a VZBot. As you can see, there's still quite a bit to do. I've got some pretty temporary things set up. But overall, the print quality and the speed of the machine is quite good. I haven't really pushed it that far, but it's very fun, and I'm getting to play with a lot of the things that I've seen on forums and whatnot that I really wanted to play with. So two of the things that I just got running are my clicky probe. So that's this dockable probe that works off a clicky micro switch. So rather than having a BL touch or some sort of inductive probe, the printer uses this magnetic dock, to pick it up and probe the bed. Also, forgive my current printed bed. I had some issues, and the Tronxy glass bed was quite terrible, but I was able to use these Overture build surfaces that I've had kicking around for years to solve some issues to get some stuff printed while I wait for a new print service. So the other thing is from the Voron community is this end stop. So this is a bed mounted end stop. So the tool head, so the nozzle will come over and check the height against the probe, against this end stop, and then it will pick up the probe and check the height of the probe. And between measurements of the probe, the end stop, and the bed, it's able to do an auto Z calibrate, meaning that it will set the offset for you. And in theory, what that should allow you to do then is swap the build surface out for any type of height of build surface and still maintain a good first layer without having to muck with the offset yourself. So far, I've tried it with when I did these textured sheets on top, which raised the bed by about it's a good mil at least. There was no issue. It was able to lay down the first layer just as if I had calibrated it. So that was really cool. It did that at the start of the print and worked great. So anyway, I just wanted to show how that what that print start sequence looks like, just because it's kind of fun. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna home the printer. Now, one thing I do need to add that I've noticed the downfall or whatnot of this setup is that if the nozzle gets filament on it, which it has a little bit right now, try and get that there. There we go. So so you can see how the probe is actually right now. It's clicking off some old dry filament. So I've got to work on tune some settings in the printer. So that it does a further retraction so that doesn't happen, because that does throw off the readings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go and I'm going to increase the temperature of my hot end. Oh. Okay, that's weird. Why would it? Okay, so just the extruder. Sorry. Apparently I haven't used the, I just got the clipper screen installed, which is really cool. It's a very handy way to adjust and muck with the printer locally, but I'm obviously not that familiar with it. So one thing I've seen on the community is there is essentially a nozzle brush mod, that it will, I'm going to, that it will actually scrape against the nozzle brush. So basically a brush similar to this, automatically, and that would be very helpful. So right now I'm just moving to get a little bit more room so I can clean that nozzle off now that it's warm and do a quick retract. So I think what I need to do is set up a macro just to retract at the end of the print a little further than normal, just to really prevent that oozing at the end. So when the nozzle is, there we go. There, that's a little better. Okay. I probably should have heated up a little bit more. I'm a little cold for this. So okay, so the nozzle's much cleaner now. There we go. Okay, so we'll go back here. Go back to temperatures, and we'll just go cool down. That should bring the temperatures back down. Okay, perfect. While that's happening, we're gonna hit home all. So again, the tool head's gonna go move itself over, touch off, X, then Y, come back and do the Z. So you can see the nozzle clicking off there, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so now with the nozzle touched off, now the kind of the fun thing is we can go to Z tilt. So Z tilt, we can see that it went and picked up that probe. So now it's using the clicky probe to do the measurements of the bed, and it's going to take essentially tram the bed left and right. So it gets it within I currently have it set up to get it within 0.1 millimeters. So now it's going to put the little probe back, and it's done. So it's going to touch off the Z one more time. So overall, I'm super happy with where I'm at. It prints. I was able to print a whole bed, a whole sheet of about 45 little LED strip holders. They turned out really well. And yeah, I look forward to playing with it more. With this back in some form of action, I've got a little bit more obviously to do. I actually used my MPCNC to cut panels for the sides and the back, as well as this bottom plate that's already in here. So I've got more panels, acrylic to kind of enclose it, but I've got a few things I need to print and modify and get working before I can get it finally, finished and enclosed. But for right now, I needed a working printer, and now I have it, so I can move a few things forward. Anyway, hopefully that was fun, and if there's any questions about the Auto Z or the clicky probe and stuff, happy to answer those questions. I'm also looking at, are there ways that I can migrate some of that over to RepRap firmware? I know that some of the macros and some of the things we're doing in Clipper are available on RepRap firmware. Can some of those be ported over to be used on the MPCNC? So could you use sort of the same magnetic probe and the click sensor to touch off your workpiece, to set offsets and things like that? So I'm hoping that some of that will come into play. Same with the Z end stop. I've got a second one of those that I'm hoping to set up on the MPCNC to do instead of nozzle swaps, bit swaps. So same sort of action, it will come down, it will touch off the probe, and measure the new bit. So I'm hoping that that same macro can be leveraged on the MPCNC. Awesome. Thanks guys. Hope to do some more videos, and catch you later.